Hey everybody, welcome. I'm Suzanne Gundersen from Screenwritenow. I'm an inner story coach and I help screenwriters and industry creatives to naturally de-stress, get focused into their creative rhythm and flow, build tremendous confidence, and deepen their emotional worldview into wisdom and truth. That way they can hook every audience. So today's video is part of my Industry Wisdom Bit series, where I'm bringing to you professionals in television and film to share with you one golden nugget of advice or wisdom that's helped them in their career, maybe can help you too. So today we're joined by Diane Drake. Thank you, Diane, for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, thank you, Suzanne, for asking me to do this. So I am a screenwriter. My credits include Only You and What Women Want. Prior to becoming a screenwriter, I worked in development. I was a VP for director Sidney Pollack, and among other jobs, but that was my last job before I started writing. What else? I also teach for UCLA and at private retreats. And I'm finally, for the first time in a very long time, working on a new script of my own right now, which has been a nice challenge and has reminded me how incredibly, challenging it is, but I'm enjoying it.
Wonderful. Wow, you have so much wonderful experience. Could you just narrow it down to one gem or one golden nugget that might be able to be helpful to our audience today?
When you asked me to do this, I was just like, I don't know where to begin. So I'm going to share something that has newly occurred to me in the process of working on my own script. And it's something that I try to remind my students of as well. And that is that it is a process. We all want to immediately be able to do whatever it is we want to be able to do. We want to do it well, right? Whether it's learning to play the guitar or learning to speak a foreign language or learning how to bake or whatever it is, it's going to take time for you to rise to a certain level of even competence, let alone excellence, right? And I think with writing, particularly because we all know how to do it to an extent, right? Virtually pretty much everyone has a computer and vast majority of people are capable of writing an email, whatever. I mean, not everyone thinks they can play a musical instrument, that they could just pick one up and start to play. But I think there's a perception oftentimes among people who aspire to be writers that it's not that hard or it shouldn't be that hard. And the truth of the matter is it's incredibly hard. It's one of the hardest things you can do. I was just having this conversation this morning with a friend of mine who at one point did think she wanted to be a writer and has since just moved into other things. But even for me, starting a new script for the first time in a very long time, you can't help but wish, like, let me just go straight to where it works, right? like that story about Michelangelo going straight to the David, like he just cut away everything in marble that wasn't the David. But that's just not the way it works. It's trial and error, and it's blind alleys, and it's sometimes days and days of what you think of as wasted time. But it's not, because it is the nature of the game. It is a process. And it builds that way too, not only your skill overall as a writer, but also each individual project, right? You start with absolutely nothing. You start with that blank page, and little by little by little, it's like a process of accretion, where you start to, like where I hope I am just about with the script I'm writing, it starts to reach a sort of critical mass where it begins to take on a life of its own. So I think that's the thing that I would try to remind people of, to be cognizant of, and to the best of your ability, make peace with that.
Make peace with the process.
Yeah.
I love that.
And enjoy it if you can.
Right. If you can, there's the key. Like if you can, and if you're not, then maybe rethink, because and take a step back and take a breath. But
well, exactly, and take a breath, because at least for me and the vast majority of writers I know, it's a slog, especially a feature. That's a marathon. That's not like I really enjoy cooking and baking, and one of the things I love about it is you spend a few hours and you have the finished product. This is not like that. This goes on for months and months, and to keep up your sense of inspiration, I guess, is a challenge. And sometimes you have to try different techniques to do that. You know, sometimes you do need to take a break. Sometimes you need to watch things that inspire you, or listen to music, or try a different approach. Like for me, just as an example, the last couple of days, you know, I'm somebody who's very aware of and believes in the importance of story structure. So I'm really examining my outline now. Like, am I hitting those beats? Am I hitting those marks I need to? But I'm starting to feel a little bit, I don't know, I wouldn't say blocked, but, you know, just like I wasn't really making progress with it. And so I decided, I think it was yesterday, I just thought, you know what, let's not worry about that right now. Set that aside and just imagine, what do you want to see? What do you want to see on screen? What scene do you want to see? Don't worry about where it's going to fit in the story. What would be really fun, or what would be cringy, or what would be shocking, or what would be, you know, something that would be just kind of fun to play with. And that's important too, I think. You know, again, it gets back to the process of it.
It's everything you're mentioning is part of the process, whether it's sitting down and writing and being in kind of that crescendo of, oh my gosh, I've got everything, I'm gonna write it all out now, versus those blind alleys, versus, oh gosh, you know, what is it I'm even talking about today, or different parts of the story. Yeah, I mean, all of it is a part of the process. So definitely, you know, keeping with it and, you know, using your toolbox to keep yourself aligned, certainly.
And also, and I would also add, because I thought about this too, I think, I know for me when I was starting, even though I'd read a ton of scripts, and I you know, I'd been a VP for Sydney Pollack, one would assume I knew something about storytelling, but, you know, there was a certain lack of confidence. And at a certain point, I literally did say to myself, well, why not me? Really, why not me? You know, but you have to earn, I think, the right to say that. You have to be doing the work. You have to have no good answer to why not me. Like, it should be you, because you've done your homework and you've read all those scripts and you've, you know, studied the craft and you put in your time. So, you know, you should believe yourself worthy, but you should work to make yourself worthy, I think.
Yeah, and that worthiness is going to come from within. And so the more you honor who you are, and then find those tools and work at it and practice it and create that discipline and have good habits about it, and, you know, keep your self-worth high, that combined is going to deliver you, you know, something. But like you say, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's not just baking a bunch of, you know, beautiful apple tarts. I think I've seen you post pictures of on Facebook during COVID or whatever you're posting. Look delicious.
Oh,
It's not a
thank you.
3-hour baking experiment. This is a months and months worth of, you know,
Yeah.
delivering a feature or whatever it is that you're writing. So
Yeah.
great wisdom and advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna keep this perspective now and have more of a whole approach to what it is they're doing, what they're trying to create. So
Well, oh, good. I hope it's helpful. Thank you.
yes. So where can we find out more about you?
So you can visit my website, dianedrake.com. And I do have a book on screenwriting called Get Your Story Straight, which you can find on Amazon.
Fantastic. I'll put links in the description box of this video for everyone to check out. Also, everyone who's watching, feel free to go over to my website, screenwritenow.com, and download your free ebook, 3 Steps to Get Pitch Ready. That way you can get into inner alignment and hook your audience. So thanks everybody for watching. Thank you, Diane, for sharing. I really appreciate it. And we'll see everybody on the next Industry Wisdom Bits. Bye, everyone.